Hey, konnichiwa minasan, it's Gray from Wakizashi's Teahouse over in Japan. How are you doing? You good? Are you genki? Are you looking forward to Christmas and the New Year? I know I am. Okay, before I jump into my hot picks for this week with the release date of Christmas Day, December 25th, let me just shout out 3 books from last week. First one is Absolute Batman issue 3 from DC, written by Scott Snyder with art by Nick Dragotta. This is so much fun. Some great action scenes in here. Really good scenes with Bruce as Batman and Alfred. The Alfred in this, like the ultimate version of, ultimate? That's Marvel. The absolute version of Alfred is one of my favourite characters in the Absolute universe so far. So yeah, some really good scenes in this and it's just so much fun. It's bonkers, it's crazy, it's perfect for me. I do like this Riley Rossmo variant, by the way. I forgot to say, this variant cover is just excellent. So yeah, I went for this one. How about you? My second recommendation from last week is The New Gods issue 1 from Ram V with art by Jorge Fornes and Evan Cagle. So it's Evan Cagle, isn't it? Don't know why it's listed Jorge. This was a really, really good opening issue to the new series of The New Gods. The characters I'm not that familiar with. I've read a little bit of Jack Kirby's Fourth World. But yeah, this was, I say, it wasn't too Ram V, if you know what I mean. It wasn't too verbose and like, you didn't have to use a thesaurus or a dictionary to be able to read it. It was actually a really good story with good stakes in it. So yeah, recommend this if you haven't checked it out. And my final shout out from last week, G.I. Joe issue 2. Come on, how could you not? This is written, of course, by Joshua Williamson with art by Tom Riley. This was just so much fun. It's a blast. It's great fun. It's exciting. It's great to be on board like an exciting series, isn't it? Following on from the brilliant Duke miniseries earlier this year, Joshua Williamson and Tom Riley back together doing G.I. Joe. What more could you want? Okay, now let's get on with my picks for this week. As I say, December 25th, 2024. There are quite a lot from DC and also quite a few indies. So please keep watching and listening. Here we go. Okay, starting with DC, as always, we have Detective Comics issue 1092, written by Tom Taylor, art by Michael Janin, letters Wes Abbott. This is $4.99, 40 pages. The streets of Gotham run red with blood that the mysterious villain, known only as Asema, has taken quite an interest in. Who is this scalpel-fingered creature collecting the plasma of young men, and what is Asema's connection to Bruce Wayne? Tom Taylor, Michael Janin continue their exploration of the darkest corners of Gotham City. I've got to say I like this main cover by Michael Janin. I'm still not quite sold on Tom Taylor's take of Detective Comics, but yeah, it's interesting, it's worth reading, and I'm enjoying it more than Chip Zdarsky's Batman. How about you? And next up is another Absolute title. It's Absolute Wonder Woman issue 3. Kelly Thompson writes this with art by Hayden Sherman, colours by Jordi Belair. $4.99, 32 pages. And quite a cool cover, by the way. The main cover is by Hayden Sherman. Enter Steve Trevor. Wait a minute, didn't he enter last issue? A harbinger is but a messenger. It is the tetracide that you must fear, for the tetracide leaves nothing behind. Diana's true enemy has been revealed, and it will take everything she has to save Gateway City from oblivion. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds very familiar. Is that the same solicit as last month? No, I've just checked, and last month's solicit didn't even mention Steve Trevor, so that's weird, isn't it? It feels like they're an issue behind. Are you still enjoying this? Out of the 3 Absolute titles, I don't know. I think I'm enjoying Superman more than this, and Absolute Batman. I'm having a lot of fun with that. That's my favourite so far. Not saying it's perfect, but it's the most fun. It's goofy, it's inventive, it's a bit crazy, and I love the art in it. Next is Superman issue 21, legacy number 864. Written by Joshua Williamson, it's got art by Dan Murrah, colours by Alejandro Sanchez. I think that's how you pronounce it. Gotta say, first of all, the main cover's pretty cool, but I really like this. It's a cover D, the variant by Chris Samney. What do you think of this one? Which one would you go for? Okay, the synopsis says, following Doomsday's fiery attack on Metropolis, Clark and Lois realise they've been so busy saving the world that they haven't had time together, so they plan an epic date night. What could go wrong? Well, for starters, a massive alien armada is bearing down on Earth looking for revenge against Superman. What a surprise. What secret has Clark not told Lois about the future? On the main cover it's got Save the Date as a title there. And we got Superman on the main cover of this, Justice League Unlimited issue 2. Wow, that seems pretty fast. What do you think? This is written by Mark Waid, art by Dan Murrah. Again, that's right, he's doing 2 titles a month at the moment, Superman and this one. Colours by Tamara Bonvillain. This is $3.99, so $1 cheaper than most DC books, 32 pages. Into the nest of the Parademon. As the Justice League grapples with the ramifications of the Atom Project, a strange alert brings a team to the jungles of South America and a horrific discovery. Can the elite Justice League strike force save a village from total slaughter? Plus, the mystery of the dark side heir deepens, and dissension in the ranks forces Batman's hand. Gotta say, Superman looks like he's in big trouble on that main cover, doesn't he? Oh my god. Next is Green Arrow issue 19. Written by Chris Condon, art by Montos, colours by Adriano Lucas. This is $3.99 again, nice to see, 32 pages, legacy number 352. Gotta say, main cover is pretty good, but I would choose the Eric M. Gist cardstock variant, this one. What do you think? Yeah, I prefer this one. The mystery of the freshwater killer deepens. As Oliver Queen is forced to ask tough questions about the origins of the freshwater environmental disaster, the freshwater killer moves towards their next target. With time running out before another murder rocks the city, the Emerald Archer runs into surprising resistance to his investigation. Quite enjoyed the previous issue, the first of Chris Condon's run. Thought it was decent. I like the way he wrote Oliver Queen as a bit of a pain in the arse. That was quite funny, so good to see that. Following that is Batman The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween issue 4, written by Jeff Loeb. This issue has art by Cliff Chang. This is $4.99, 32 pages, and cover art is by Tim Sale. Fantastic to see that. It says here, Robin leaps into action. With a life hanging precariously in the balance, the boy wonder decides to take matters into his own hands. There's quite a long solicit, but most of that is taken up by, talking about Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale, rest in peace, of course, Tim Sale. And great to see that Jeff Loeb's got a different artist with each issue. So I'm looking forward to Cliff Chang's take on, this one, the art in here. I've seen a couple of preview pages. It looks good. It looks really good. Prefer it to the previous issue. So yeah, looking forward to reading this. There's a lot of good Batman books out at the moment, aren't there? Okay, now this might be a surprise. I think a lot of people thought this was never going to come out because listen to this. You won't believe it. The last issue came out this time last year.
Oh, come on!
That's right, folks. It's been a year. Issue 2 was dated December the 12th, 2023. We finally got issue 3, December 26, 2024. Batman Gargoyle of Gotham issue 3. Writer-artist Rafael Grampa and colours by Matt Lopez. $6.99, 48 pages. It's a cardstock cover, perfect bound, DC's black label, and it says on the cover here, Book 3. Were you reading this? Can you even remember what it was about? I can't. I'll have to try and find my old issues of 1 and 2 and see. May the hour of the devil begin. The harrowing journey through the dark heart of Gotham reaches a fever pitch in this penultimate installment of Rafael Grampa's visionary series. Penultimate? That means there's going to be one more, doesn't it? Well, there isn't one listed so far. Batman's investigation leads him into the deadly lair of Dr. Geist, where his presence is not only expected, but welcomed. Their savage fight for the soul of Gotham and the soul of Bruce Wayne himself will send shockwaves through the city from which he might never recover. Elsewhere, the fugitive Krytoon makes a twisted acquaintance that finally gives him something to smile about. That might be a reference to the cover with those colours there. Does the Joker show up in this? Very distinctive art style, Rafael Grampa. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, there's also, I think, a noir edition of this coming out as well, which is, I think it might be more expensive. Just double checking now. No, the noir edition is $6.99 as well. It's got a very different kind of cover as well. And my final pick from DC this week, yeah, there's a lot. There are a lot, aren't there? It's a new issue 1, Metamorpho, the Element Man issue 1. I always want to say Elephant Man. Sorry. Shout out to David Lynch's weird movie. This is going to be written by Al Ewing, art by Steve Lieber, colours Lee Luffridge. $3.99, 32 pages. Not that struck on the main cover here by Steve Lieber. It's the interior artist. I've seen some of the art inside and I do like it. It's kind of cartoony, but yeah, the cover's a little bit simple for me. I would go for this. Cover C, Ian Bertram, the cardstock variant. It's crazy, it's weird, it's a bit psychedelic. I read his Precious Metal from Image Comics, his indie series, which was just out there, really cool. I love his distinctive style of art. So yeah, I would choose this one. Okay, let's have a look what it's all about. To know him is to love him, that fab freak who can change himself into any element in the human body. He's the one and only Rex Mason, alias Metamorpho. But can even he win out against Cyclops? The hairy eyeball of crime that gazes from the top of the pop charts to the lowest depths of evil. I'm reading this, by the way, folks, verbatim. And even into the far-off, far-out Ra realm. To find out, the Element Man must survive a hand-picked assassin who can match him change for change. And that's just the first issue. This is $3.99, by the way, 32 pages. What do you think? Is there much interest for this? Is this Al Ewing's first book for DC? I'm not quite sure. Some people are asking about that in the comments here on a League of Comic Book Geeks, but yeah, there seems to be quite a lot of people excited for this, but I've also heard, the reverse opinion of like, oh, Al Ewing doing this? Oh, I don't think I'll bother. So we'll see how it goes. I'm always going to give a new series a chance, and I do like the kind of simple cartoony art for it as well. Moving on to Marvel Comics, and I've only got 3 picks for this week. Starting with The Amazing Spider-Man issue 64. This issue is written by Justina Ireland again. Art is by Gleb Melnikov, colours by Marcio Maines. $4.99, 32 pages, legacy number 958. All it says is, the 8 deaths of Spider-Man continues. Cytorak's most dangerous Scion, Calyx and his deadly crimson canines take their turn to inflict physical pain on Spider-Man. Spidey doesn't have many deaths left to spend. But, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because he's going to be okay and he wins the end of each issue. Well, he has so far. It feels to me, I've talked about this before, it's like playing a video game where you've got the end of level boss and you might lose a life while you're fighting him, but you get a life back somehow and then you just start the next level. I like the cover, I like this main cover here. The main cover's by Ed McGuinness, you can tell, can't you? Very cool. But I also wanted to point out this one, this Bengus Marvel vs. Capcom variant. Pretty cool image of Spidey on this. Sticking with spiders, we've got Spider-Boy, issue 14, written by Dan Slott. Art is by Humberto Ramos and Paco Medina. Colours, Eric Arciniega, I think that's how you say that, as I butchered his name. This main cover here is by, I think, Paco Medina. I like this Winter Holiday variant by Natasha Bustos. Bustos, I like that name. Okay, let's have a quick look. $4.99 though for 32 pages. I wish this was $3.99, but what are you going to do? It says on the cover, The Dragon's Challenge. Spider-Boy wasn't supposed to be on this adventure with Daredevil. That's right, it's with Daredevil. And now has to fight the toughest of the toughest on planet Earth. Spider-Boy's rule to only fight villains his speed isn't one these opponents will be abiding by. Let's see how it goes. I think this is one of the most fun Marvel comics which is being written at the moment, and that's a surprise because I know it's written by Dan Slott. Who knew, eh? Again, don't blame me, blame Weird Science Jim for getting me into this series. And my final pick from Marvel is a new issue 1, Hellhunters. Written by Phil Kennedy Johnson, art is by Adam Gorham. $4.99, 32 pages. Pretty awesome cover here by, it says, Jonas Scharf. Ghost Rider 44, 1944. As US Sergeant Sal Romero is parachuting into Nazi-occupied Europe, young Nazi officer Felix Bruckner becomes the host for an unspeakable evil. In the aftermath of their violent meeting, Romero is reborn as Ghost Rider 44, who sets out not only to take revenge on Bruckner and the Nazis, but to save mankind from annihilation. Featuring an all-star cast of Marvel's most badass heroes, don't miss the origin of the Incredible Hulk's Ghost Rider 44. $4.99, 32 pages, in case I didn't say. Yeah, my curiosity is piqued by this. Not only by the awesome cover, but the Phil Kennedy Johnson's writing it. I like the sound of that. I can't remember Adam Gorham's art. Hoping it's going to be good. Let's see. It says the characters are the Sal Romero Ghost Rider. There's also Soldier Supreme, Bucky, James Howlett, Nick Fury, Peggy Carter as supporting characters. So yeah, Looking forward to it. I hope it's a good laugh. Okay, moving on to Image Comics, and good news for Ghost Machine fans, folks. We got 2 issues out this week. The first one is Geiger, issue 9, written by Jeff Johns, pencils by Paul Pelletier, inks by Andrew Hennessy, colours Brad Anderson. Okay, $3.99 of course, because good old Ghost Machine are keeping that price point for now. Trouble brews within the last civilized town in America. The cause, Tariq Geiger, oh my god, who attracts too many bounty hunters, wanting the enormous sum for his corpse. But when Geiger loses control, will he ultimately become this town's protector, or its doom? Plus the return of Junkyard Joe's creator and enemy, the Custodian. But what are his ties to Geiger and Redcoat? That's what it says here in the synopsis. Still really enjoying this series. It's one of my current favourites, one of my favourites for this year. Yeah, can't wait to read the next issue, and fantastic main cover here. Great cover by Gary Frank. This is closely followed by Redcoat issue 8, written by Jeff Johns with pencils by Brian Hitch, inks by Andrew Curry, colours Brad Anderson. $3.99, 32 pages. No way! I thought like Redcoat was taking a break, a bit like Rook Exodus, but no, it's back. It's 1873, and travellers are disappearing within Labette County, Kansas, disappearing without a trace. Now, Simon Pure finds himself on the trail of the latest missing person and his young daughter, leading him into one of the strangest and most violent clans of killers to have ever operated in the United States. But is this amount of evil too much for even Simon Pure to handle? As I say, glad this is back, looking forward to another good, fun adventure issue. Again from Image, Skybound this time, we've got Creepshow issue 4, if you fancy a bit of horror, yes. $3.99 for this, written by Mike Carey. Ooh, it says, and art is by Mark Torres. Mike Carey, that takes me back, man. Takes me back to the first solo series of Lucifer, and also his Hellblazer run as well. I've picked out a variant cover, there's only one, it's by Mark Torres. So yeah, looking forward to seeing the interior art, if Torres is doing it, as it says. Okay, the penultimate issue of everyone's favourite horror anthology is here. As the legendary Mike Carey, Lucifer, and Mark Torres, Cold Spots, bring you a tale about a man who loves war, but may find that he's the one truly fighting for his life. Plus, sensational Japanese creator Aki Bright, DC vs. Vampires, brings his unique horrific vision to a terrifying tale about how far one woman would go for beauty. Fancy a bit of horror this festive season? Then maybe check it out. Oh god, I made a mistake before. There's actually another Ghost Machine comic book out. I forgot, it's Hornsby and Halo issue 2. Written by Peter Tomasi, art by Peter Sneyberg, something like that. Colours by John Calise. $3.99. Only the second issue, so I'm going to give it a chance. I'm not completely sold on this yet. We'll see. See how it goes. See how this issue strikes me. Dark forces conspire to break the peace between heaven and hell. As Zach Halo and Rose Hornsby try to reconcile with the astonishing beings they became the previous night, they get caught in a cosmic conspiracy to destroy the tenuous truce made between the angels and demons. Try saying that in a hurry after you've had 3 pints of bitter. 13-year-olds shouldn't be made to fight for something so existential. Just 2 more to go now as the hailstones lash down outside. From Boom Studios, we've got The Creeping Below, issue 2. Been looking forward to this. Written by Brian Azzarello, art by Vanessa R. Del Rey, colours Hilary Jenkins. This is $4.99. In the primordial forests of Norway, a young photographer investigates a grisly, ritualistic murder. Her own. In the black metal occult underground, she discovers gods, ancient and older, that may be pulling the strings, the puppeteers of humanity, and she may be one of the ancients herself. Love this cover by the main artist, Vanessa R. Del Rey. Yeah, really enjoyed issue 1. Looking forward to this. It's been 2 months since the first issue. The first one came out October 2nd. This is out on Christmas Day in the morning. So yeah, looking forward to reading it. And sticking with horror again, my final pick is from Oni Press, The Autumn Kingdom issue 4. Written by Cullen Bunn with art by Christopher Mitten. $4.99. Behold, the last stand of the Fall's phantasmagoric folk horror odyssey is here, from master storytellers Cullen Bunn and Christopher Mitten. Summer and winter descend into the autumn kingdom, so close to rescuing their parents, but shaken and more aware than ever with what they stand to lose in this fight. The sisters encounter the dreadful king of the dying Fae realm and learn the truth behind the growing blight. But is it too late to return to their normal lives? Only their sword and their unbreakable bond will tell. After listening to an interview with Cullen Bunn on the Awesome Comics podcast, I really liked what he had to say, his story about what he likes about comics, what he likes about horror, creating comics. So yeah, since then I've been trying to give his series a try. So this has been good. Yeah, I like it. So yeah, maybe looking for something a bit different, a bit of a kind of autumnal horror, indie horror. Maybe check it out. Okay, that's it for this week. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're still listening this far, I salute you. Just before I finish, I want to shout out this Christmas with the Superheroes from 1988. It's a great little collection of short stories for the festive season. We've got Batman in Wanted, Santa Claus Dead or Alive, Justice League in The Man Who Murdered Santa Claus, the Teen Titans in The TT's Swinging Christmas Carol, Legion of Superheroes in Starlight Star Bright, Superman in 'Twas the Fright Before Christmas, and the wonderful Batman in The Silent Night of the Batman. Great Neil Adams art in that. Yeah, do shout that out. Recommend it. It's available for cheap on Kindle and digital if you want to pick it up. So yeah, wishing you all the best for this Christmas and have a happy new year. Hope to see you in a future video. This has been Gray from Wakizashi's Teahouse, signing off for the night. Matane.